think when I started 8 years ago, there was around 700 people in tech.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I think now it's around 1,500, maybe more. You could join as role A, but throughout your next career, you could go to B, role C, whatever takes your fancy, really. It's ever evolving, ever growing. It's a massive part of the business.
Welcome to Life at Next podcast, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you are a infrastructure team leader in our technology department here at Next, right?
That's right, yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Wicked. Right, well, we're going to dive into that in a second. But before we do, if people that are listening could please like, subscribe, all the usual stuff, and if you're not subscribed, now is the time. So let's dive into it with Tom, shall we? So where did you start on your journey of being a, infrastructure team leader? Where'd that come from?
Yeah, so I've always been interested in IT. So I studied IT at school and then did 3 years at college, studying IT, and then sort of worked way up from there, really. I've worked in schools, healthcare sector, managed service providers, and then I found myself here at Next.
And what was that thing that's always been there, getting you interested in tech or IT?
I think constant innovation,
Nice.
Technology is the one area that's constantly evolving. It's very dynamic. Things change so quickly, really. So it just holds that interest.
And what was the first role in Next then? Was it the role that you're in now, or was it a different role?
So I joined as a senior infrastructure engineer. So similar role, same team. I've been in the team for 8 years now. So I was an engineer for 4 years and team leader for almost 4 years now as well.
And an engineer is not an engineer as a traditional engineer, is it? Because that's used in loads of job roles in industries, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's an engineer in the world of tech? Sorry.
So an engineer for my team is someone who builds infrastructure. So essentially, we build the back end sort of hardware for the Next website.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's sort of servers, storage, load balancers. It's all the things where you're clicking around the Next website. You don't really think about
it.
You don't
yeah,
see it. You don't think about. Some people might not care about it. But yeah, without all those servers and infrastructure in place, there wouldn't be a website.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess that's across international sites as well, and like total platforms and stuff like that as well. Yeah.
So we build and host that infrastructure. So throughout all of next.co.uk, total platform, Next International. Yeah. So as I said, we will build that, we'll support that, and scale up when needed.
Nice. And what's it been like now being a team leader then compared to just like an engineer? Was that a big change, big difference?
It's quite a big difference.
Yeah.
So obviously being an engineer is very technical. It's very hands-on. You are doing the work. As a team leader or a manager, you sort of have to step back. You manage the team's workloads rather than yourself. I don't have the access like I used to, unfortunately. So sometimes I just want to dive straight in there and click around and do things. But so it's that sort of segregation of not being so hands-on, but managing the workload of the team. Yeah,
I reckon my team would like to take my access away from me a few times. I'm not going to lie, be like, get out of the way, will you? Like, let us do it. So
it's probably been less issues since I've had the access taken away.
yeah. But productivity's gone like that. Yeah. I can totally relate to that. And then out of work as well, am I right in saying you joined the reserves? Is that correct? Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Okay. And has there been anything from that's kind of supported you in terms of being at Next as well?
A little bit, yeah. So a month after I joined Next, I actually joined the Army Reserve as well. So
literally,
sort of hand in hand, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of
what made you do that?
So at heart, so my passion is IT, and I've always been into that. But I like to get out and about as well. I like getting outside. I try and keep fit, that sort of thing. So it was just to do something completely different outside of my work. A lot of people in the Army say, why don't you go into cyber or that sort of the Army side? But I just wanted to do something completely different and just a new challenge, really. There's definitely a lot of transferable skills there. So I've got roughly an equivalent role in the Army Reserve as like a team leader.
Oh, wicked.
So, for example, the last weekend we had a training weekend. I was leading 8 people in different scenarios and reacting to different things like that, which is very transferable. You know, it's reacting to things on the fly, working with different people, different ages, and working under pressure. So it's quite a lot of transferable skills, actually.
Yeah, and it's good actually what you said there around. Like, I guess you would get a lot of people being like, "Why are you not doing something tech in the Army?" But actually, you're like, "Look, I want to switch off, basically." Yeah.
Yeah, just something different.
It's just something different.
New challenge. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And was it hard to tackle that challenge first of all, where you kind of were doing both at the same time? Because I guess you had new next and new this, or did it kind of just work?
It was challenging. So I didn't have any military experience before that. So a lot of people in the reserves are like ex-regulars. Or
okay.
They might have been in the cadets or something like that. I was completely fresh. no pun intended, but completely green. You know, with the army side of it. So yeah, it was challenging. But you know, you dive into these things and see how it goes.
Yeah, 100%. And what's been the most enjoyable thing out of that, do you reckon?
All different things, really. I've done exercises in Cyprus. I've been over to Poland. I'm now a physical training instructor in the army as well. So there's loads of opportunities there to do anything you want, really. I did a week in March hiking in Wales, doing mountaineering stuff. It's just a challenge with managing a full-time job, reserve life, family life. It's busy, but you know, again, you just got to throw yourself in there and do it. So all sorts of different things. Yeah.
No, I mean, it sounds great. I mean, it sounds really, really good to have that variety, I guess, as well. Yeah, definitely. And by we, I mean Next. They recently partnered, didn't they, with Help for Heroes. And do you, from your point of view, do you see that as a positive within like the business and the community? Like, what's your take on it?
Yeah, it's definitely a positive. You know, I think it's great that Next support Help for Heroes. You know, the people that they support, you know, have often put their life on the line. You know, for the country, but you know, they might fall in under hard times. So you know, it's good that we can raise money to help those people. In those situations, as I said, I'm not a veteran myself, but you know, it's great that we do support veterans and you know, try and get back into work or just support them, you know, however we can.
Yeah, 100%. Because we do stuff, don't we, with the uniform services and stuff like that. Anyone that's a part of anything, you know, at Next, we encourage that community to come together. So yeah, it is really important, and it's a good collaboration. I think really good collaboration with Help for Heroes for sure. And in terms of like, I asked you, you know, what excites you most around like being in the reserves. What about your role? What's now like, you know, what are some of the things that you can talk about and tell us like where's it going? What's exciting you at the moment?
Again, just like I touched on really. So particularly with tech, it's no 2 days are the same. Every day's different. We're either, you know, building new infrastructure to support the growth of the business, or it could be reacting to issues. So in the last few weeks, you know, we've been really focusing on security. It's across technology, not just my team, but you know, in light of the recent cyber attacks different companies have had, so we've been doing a lot of work for that. And there's a lot of work with the cloud coming up as well. So my team, we build on-premise infrastructure, so that's infrastructure hosted here at head office and over at Gedding Road. But that shortly will be all moving to the cloud, so that's a huge change.
God, that's a massive project.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, massive project.
Absolutely enormous project.
Yeah, and how, like, what's the benefit and how big is that? Like, what do you think the benefit is? What is the benefit of that? Is it security or?
Not so much security. I would say benefits mainly would be around scalability.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, right now, in a traditional on-premise infrastructure, everything that we have here, if we need to scale out or increase the capacity of the servers, we need to go out to market, we need to get quotes, we need to order the hardware, it needs to be delivered, we need to put it into the data centers, we need to build it, you know, all that takes weeks, possibly months. In the cloud, so let's say the website's struggling a little bit, or it's a sale period, it's peak time, we should be able to click a few buttons or have a script, and it just does all that for you in seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it will scale back down as well when those peak loads have reduced. So very exciting. It's a big challenge.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
And is that a way that a lot of the industry's going as well? Is that a big focus like in the tech world? It's not, or is it unique to Next?
No, it's across the board. A lot of businesses have already gone that way. And I suppose as well, another advantage is it will free up space here at head office. So we've got several data
physical space.
Physical space.
Yeah.
So we've got several rooms here that host all this equipment, and over at Gedding Road as well. So it will free up those sites for
whatever we want
for repurposing.
Yeah. Definitely. And other than that, is there anything else that you're kind of excited about other than like the kind of innovation in the cloud? Is there anything else that's popping off in the tech world that you think, oh, definitely worth sharing?
Probably AI as well. That's a massive thing at the moment for all businesses across everywhere. AI is a big driver of how we can work more efficiently, and how that can help us. So I think for tech, it's at the moment AI is a big focus. Moving to the cloud, and learning all those different technologies as well. It's big.
Yeah, a lot to do.
It's exciting.
And how in particular AI do you reckon? Because what I'm learning more and more is, and rightly so, AI is such a broad term now, isn't it? But in your world, is there certain things that you're really homing in on? Is there certain kind of, are you trying to improve productivity, or are you trying to improve creativity? Like what's the purpose of it, do you think?
Yeah, so it's across the board really. So we might be able to use AI to tell us about things that are going wrong. So certain areas of the infrastructure is running too hot.
Okay.
Or it might be able to analyse error logs or something like that. Or it could help us actually build new things as well. So we are reaching capacity. Let's add some more servers or whatever we need to cope with that, so the website doesn't suffer.
Oh wow! Okay, amazing. And say someone was considering joining Next Technology, like, in your time here, what's some of the advice that you give them, do you reckon?
Just throw yourself in, just take it on. I know it's probably a cliche, but it's technology is so enormous now, and it's so fundamental to the business. I think when I started 8 years ago, there was around 700 people in tech.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I think now it's around 1,500, maybe more. Across head office, out in our Pune teams, Sri Lanka, Poznan. It's just enormous. And there's so many different teams, different technologies. You can really, you could join as role A, but throughout your next career, you could go to B, role C, whatever takes your fancy, really. It's ever evolving, ever growing. It's a massive part of the business. Yeah,
I totally agree. I think a lot of people, because they associate obviously Next with product, and rightly so, and also more our traditional retail, like that's always been there, like they see the shops and that's what they think, forgetting that there's like 1,800 people that are building these infrastructures or cloud services, or pay, like tech's embedded into everything we do now. It's ridiculous. And I guess the challenge is now is kind of using all that talent and constantly evolving and growing like that. That's exciting, I reckon.
It is. And that's the thing with tech. It doesn't stay still.
No.
You've got to grow and keep with the times, and
well, if you do, we're just going to get left behind.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to get left behind. Okay, right, let's move on to some quickfire questions now, just this and that. Would you rather conduct a brainstorming session on a whiteboard or in an online document?
I'd say a whiteboard. Probably controversial coming from tech, but no, I do like sort of getting the guys in and brainstorming around that rather than just have a document. Yeah. It's good to engage with people and like read their body language and just have that interaction, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Are you a person that prefers to like do lots of little tasks or just focus on that like one big juicy project?
I would say big juicy project. That's my background.
Yeah.
So when I was an engineer, I was involved with putting a lot of our storage products, which is huge, and new server estate. So I do have that background, and it's a good achievement when things have gone well. So yeah, I'd say big and juicy.
Nice. I like that. Would you rather do like a whole day of like independent, like little tasks that you've got to do, or would you rather be like in loads of collaborative meetings all day? By the way, one or the other?
I'd say collaborative meetings. I think.
Yeah.
I am a team player, so I'd like to bounce.
Yeah, I get
off
that
people
vibe.
and-
I get that vibe.
Yeah.
I definitely get that vibe. 100%. Do you like to work on like understanding yourself more or understanding others around you?
I think others.
Yeah?
Actually.
Why is that?
Yeah. It's a good question. I'm very big on fairness in the team and making sure we're all on the same page with things and try and support those who might be slightly behind the curve with something. But also try and challenge people who are really excelling as well. So yeah, I think a team player is the way forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I think I might know this one because it links to the other one, but would you rather improve on an existing process or make a new idea?
Make a new idea.
Yeah. Big shiny thing.
Yeah.
The big shiny new project. Yeah.
Something new, shiny, exciting. Get your teeth into it.
And in terms of the last one, do you start the day with like the most challenging task, or do you kind of get the easy ones done and out of the way?
I think often the most challenging.
Yeah. Spend more time on that.
Because if you put it off, then it never gets done, or you run out of time, or yeah. I mean, yeah, contradiction. It is good to get some of those quick wins out of the way as well. But yeah, it just depends on what's going on, really.
Yeah, I remember like ages ago. So I can't think if it was a video or a bit of advice, but someone was like, if it's more than, I think it's like 3 or 5 minutes, something, then it's not a quick task. Like, save that. Either do that and do it, or if you're in quick task mode, like at that point, like you just got to move on to the next one. Because I think sometimes I can definitely start on a quick task, and then I'm like, hang on, this is growing arms and legs here. So bit of advice for anyone for sure. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I appreciate coming on, Tom. Like, it's been fantastic to hear, and I would just say to everyone, tech's such a huge part of Next and what we do. So, appreciate your time coming on and coming on the Life at Next podcast.
I've enjoyed it. Thank you very much.